more peat bogs in your games. Please. Literally everyone is asking for it. Gosh. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick. Oh, that's right, Mike's not here. Mike's usually here. We're the Brothers Murph. This is going to be a solo Game Haus episode. We're going to be doing solo Game Haus episodes as Mike is out on paternity leave, but we're going to be continuing them even when he comes back on paternity leave because solo gaming is cool and a lot of people like to do solo gaming. And this week we're going to play Fields of Arle. This is a great big Uwe Rosenberg game, one of them big old thick boys that Uwe loves so much. Now this game is really great because this game is a 1 to 2 player game. That's it. It's a very big, meaty 2-player game. And the single game, the solo game, is literally exactly the same. There's one very, very slight difference, but it's exactly the same. We've been wanting to play this one on Game Haus anyway, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and solo it because it'll show off the game really well because it's the exact same game. Now, in these solo Game Houses, we usually, instead of doing just a brief overview like we usually do, we go into a full teach of the solo game, the solo version of the game. Not the entire game, just what's different in the solo game. But this is kind of the exact same game. So we're going to go into a teach of the entire game. So let's get down to the table and teach you how to play Fields of Arle.
Place the main board in the middle of the table. Assemble the goods board and populate it with the tiles shown on the board. Place the half-year counter on the 1 space here. Randomly choose 4 green tiles, 3 blue tiles, and 2 yellow tiles and place them face up in their corresponding spots on the board here. The orange and red tiles are the same in every game, so place them in their respective spaces on the board following the picture on the back of the tile. Each player will take a barn board and a home board. On your barn board, you will place the various travel destinations in their spaces. Then on your home board, you will place a number of tiles and discs. Note that everything you need to place is actually shown on the board already, which is super convenient. But nonetheless, you will place a flax field here and a grain field here. You will place the small peat bog tile with the 4 peat cubes on it here and a stall with a single horse in it here. Place the 3 large peat bog tiles with their lighter side up at the bottom of your board here. Gain 4 wood, 4 clay, and 3 peat. Note that wood and clay can be upgraded to timber and bricks, so it's very important to keep tiles on their correct side throughout the game. Your 5 dike tiles will go on these 5 spaces. Place the 6 goods indicators in their indicated values on the goods track here. You will place your 4 worker discs on the summer side of the main board, and lastly, place one of your tool discs in the leftmost space of each tool track, and that concludes the setup. Fields of Arle is played over 9 rounds called half years, summer and winter. When in a summer round, you may only place your workers on the left side of the board, and in winter you may only place your workers on the right side of the board, and each space can only hold 1 worker. There are 2 different colored actions on the board, lighter actions and darker actions. The light actions will just do what they say and don't change, whereas the darker actions will be determined by the strength of the tool that it's attached to. For example, the forester space just gives you 1 forest or 1 building, whereas the woodcutter space gives you wood based on how strong your axe tool is. If your tool disc is on the first space, it would give you 3 wood. If it's at max strength, it would give you 6 wood. Certain actions may also have costs, and costs are always shown in the blue and white Frisian pattern here. Before we get into all the actions, let's quickly talk about animals and your fields. When obtaining animals, they must go onto your home board. Each dike can hold 1 animal, and each empty field can hold 2 animals of the same type. There are also buildings animals can go into, like the stall that you start with. This can hold 3 animals of the same type. The stable can hold 6 animals of the same type, and the double stall has 2 areas that can each hold 3 animals of the same type. Note that you are allowed to redistribute your animals around your board anytime during the worker placement phase. And a quick tip, you want to make sure you try and get an equal amount of every animal by the end of the game. You'll see why when we talk about scoring later. When obtaining new tiles, they must immediately be placed in an open field below your line of 3 dikes. So at the beginning of the game, your home board is limited to this, but throughout the game, you will raise your dikes like so, and this will change how many open fields you have. You have 5 dikes, but where you can build is always whatever is below the line of 3. Note that you can move animals freely, but you cannot move tiles once they're on your home board unless an action allows you to do so. Okay, let's get into the actions for summer, starting at the master. This space is important because it allows you to strengthen your tools. To start the game, you are able to strengthen 2 different tools when you do this action, though you can always strengthen the master action itself, which immediately takes effect. When increasing a tool, you will pay the cost to the left of the tool and move that disc one space to the right. Note that when doing this action, you must increase different tools. The Fisherman action allows you to gain 1 sheep and it increases your fish trap tool as well. Then you will gain 1 food per fish trap you have, in this case 4. Whenever you gain or spend goods, you will move them up or down on the track here on your home board. Note that you may not gain a good past 15, though you do have 2 food discs, so if they were here you would have 25 food. In typical Uwe fashion, slashes like this mean or, so the grocer gives you 1 timber, 1 brick, or 1 animal of your choice, and then you gain 1 grain good and 1 leather tile. At the wool weaver, you may turn in wool goods into wool fabrics as many times as your weaving loom level. The colonist gains you 1 horse and allows you to dehydrate 1 of your peat bogs. When you dehydrate a peat bog, you will flip the tile and then place 4 peat cubes on it. Note that leaving peat bogs on your board will give you negative points at the end of the game. Once you have some peat, you can go to the peat cutter to gain it. You can cut 1 cube from a dehydrated bog per spade you have. If you ever empty a bog of peat, you will remove that tile from your board, and hey, more empty fields to put tiles and animals in. The dike builder is how you move your dikes. First you will gain a cow or a sheep, and then you may move 1 dike up on your home board per shovel pair you have. Note that shovel pairs is the top number, not the bottom. When moving dikes, you will choose one of your lowest dikes and move it to the next available space up like this. Also, if you do not move your dikes all the way up at the end of the game, you will lose points. The clay worker action gives you clay based on how many shovels you have, which is the bottom number. The farmer space gains you 1 plow and 1 flax or grain field per plow that you have. When gaining this field, you may choose for it to be flax or grain and you will place it into an empty space on your board. The plow is equipment. There are a couple different types of equipment in the game. These equipment here are vehicles, which allow you to ship things, though we'll talk about shipping a little bit later. All vehicle tiles are double-sided, and when building one, you may choose either side to build. When gaining equipment, you will pay the cost indicated in the Frisian pattern. Note that some equipment requires them to be pulled by animals, and you will need to remove this animal from your home board to be able to gain this equipment. The peat boat here is a bit special, and when you have a peat boat, you may turn in peat cubes to increase any good by 1, and you may do this as much as you like. Equipment will go into your barn. Small vehicles will go on the left side, large vehicles will go on the right side, and this space may hold either. The forester action allows you to gain a forest tile or build a building. The buildings are these tiles on the left side of the board. When gaining one of these, they will go into an empty field on your home board. The cost of the buildings is in the Frisian pattern above each column. With the exception of the green buildings, which give ongoing abilities, the buildings will activate once you build them, and then they're worth endgame points. There's a lot of buildings, so I'm not going to go into what they all do, but there's an appendix in the back of the book which clearly explains all of them. The woodcutter action gains you wood based on your axes. The builder allows you to build a building, and the carpenter allows you to build a building or a stall for 2 brick and 1 grain. The warden allows you to flip a tile with this symbol on it for free. In this way, you can get a better vehicle, or change stalls and stables, or turn your forest into a park. The last action in summer is the laborer action, where you can gain 1 vehicle or imitate, which just means copying an action that's already occupied. Okay, that's the actions for summer. Once you have placed your 4 workers in a season, you will have to do either summer or winter inventory. We will talk about inventory in a bit, but first let's go through the actions over in winter. The peat boatman gives you 3 peat plus 1 more for every peat boat you have. At the tanner, you can turn in your hide goods into leather. The linen weaver allows you to turn your flax into linen. The butcher allows you to turn in animals for food and hides, and if you turn in a cow, you get an extra foods because cows be beefy. The cattle trader gives you 2 grain, 1 sheep, and 1 cow or horse. The grocer allows you to cut 1 peat, gain 1 animal, 1 wood, and 1 clay. The builder's merchant gains you 2 hide goods, 1 wood or clay, and 1 timber or brick. At the potter, you can turn clay in for food and peat cubes. At the baker, you can turn 1 grain and 1 peat into 6 food. If you ever see something in parentheses, you can pay with that instead if and only if you have none of the original good to pay. So here, if you do not have grain, you may use flax instead, and you may use wood if you have no peat. The wood trader allows you to gain 4 wood or build a building. Winter also has a master action, and it works the same way as it does in summer. The wainwright allows you to gain 1 vehicle or a peat boat. Note that when an action allows you to gain a vehicle, it is specifically talking about these vehicles here. The plow and the peat boat can only be gained when an action specifically names them. The Dike Warden allows you to flip a tile with the flip symbol and move one dike up. The Carpenter allows you to pay 2 brick to turn a stall into a stable, or spend 2 clay and 1 grain to buy a new stall. And the Laborer allows you to build a building or imitate an action. Okay, that is all the actions. At the end of the season, there is inventory. Summer and winter inventory are a bit different, but they both start with the same thing, shipping. You can use your vehicles to ship and upgrade things. Each vehicle has a certain amount of empty spaces that can be used to upgrade things. If you put a wood in a vehicle, it becomes a timber. If you put a clay, it becomes a brick. Though note that to turn clay into brick, you need fire, so 1 peat, which was used as fuel, must be discarded to make a brick. Linen becomes summer clothes, wool becomes winter clothes, and leather becomes some sexy ass clothes. All of these upgrades are worth more points than their basic versions. You may also use vehicles to ship goods to the various locations for food. To do this, you will place one of these locations in a vehicle. You must then discard, or ship, at least one of the things listed on the tile, though you may do more if you would like. For doing this, you will gain the foon indicated below the thing you shipped. These will then flip over and be put on the left side of your home board here. The more places you ship to, the more points you'll gain at the end of the game. Note that you may load your carts with goods or destinations at any time, but your carts will not empty until the inventory phase after you place your workers. After you empty your carts, you will move on to the rest of the inventory phase. In summer, you will gain 1, 2, or 3 food from your sheep and cows, depending on how many you have on your home board. And then you will gain 1 grain per grain field, 1 flax per flax field, and 1 wood per forest. You will then have to feed your workers by paying 3 food, and then because we're going into winter and it gets cold, you have to turn in 2 peat to burn for fuel. In winter inventory, after shipping, your animals will breed. Note that only animals in buildings may breed. If there are 2, 3, or 5 animals in a building, 1 new animal will be born. If there are exactly 4 animals in a building, 2 babies will be born. If you have 6 animals, none will be born as the new animal has to go into the building with their parents. But remember, you can move around animals at any time during the worker placement phase, so just make sure to move at least 1 before breeding. After breeding, you will gain 1, 2, or 3 wool from 1, 4, or 6 sheep. And at the end of winter, you also need to pay 3 food, but since we're going into summer, no peat needs to be burned for fuel. After inventory for a season, you will move the round marker to the next side and spend your workers in the next season. After 9 rounds, the game will end and we'll move into endgame scoring. When the game ends, players will add up their scores. First, you'll score points for all of your timber, brick, linens, summer clothes, wool, winter clothes, leather, and sexy ass clothes. You will then score points for equipment in your barn. Note that if you didn't buy at least 1 large piece of equipment to cover this space, you will lose 3 points. You will then gain the points shown on the first empty space of your travel experience. You will add up and score points on the tool tracks of the game board. You will gain points for any goods that made it up into the points section of the goods track. Note that you have 2 food discs and they both score. Also, the flip side of a stall is a depot, which doubles your goods score. You will add up all the points from the tiles on your board, and you will subtract points if you didn't get rid of peat bogs or move your dikes all the way up. And lastly, you will score points for your animals. Remember, I mentioned that you wanted to have an equal amount of each animal if you can. That is because at the end of the game, the animal you have the least of is worth 2 points per animal. The second least is worth 1 point per animal, and the animal you have the most of is worth nothing. So, equal animals. Count up all your points, and that is how you play Fields of Arle.
Well, here we are. Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Murphy. Mike's not here. It's weird. It is weird. I'm going to say one quick thing about this game is, 1, it's great. 2, it's got a great player aid. I know a lot of publishers probably don't want to print a full 8.5 by 11 size, double-sided player aid because it probably intimidates people, let's be honest. But here's the thing. It's so useful. It's so useful. Just everything, the setup, how a bunch of stuff works. It's all here. It's great. This player aid, the player aid in War of the Ring, and the player aid specifically in Tuat and Suyu is really big like this. And I'll tell you right now, it's absolutely outstanding. So put player aids in your game first of all. And second of all, make them big. It's like notes for a test. You can't have too many notes. Just give me some information here. It's great, especially because this game, it's not necessarily that complicated of a game, but for some reason, it's hard for some stuff to stick in my head about it. But nonetheless, let's do some let's Arle some fields. I don't understand what that means. But nonetheless, ooh, Buble in the house. Let's go. Raspberry, it's okay, let's be honest. Not the best flavor, not the worst. The worst is grapefruit. Fight me in the chat. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So again, this game is exactly the same. The only difference is you're kind of just not getting in the way of other people, and other people also aren't getting in the way of you. And so we can kind of do whatever we want here. And I'm not like great at this game, so we're gonna see probably some subpar play, and I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to think, what should I do first? We do have some, I would like to get some kind of cart, some kind of vehicle, so that I can start upgrading stuff and getting it done. And actually, you start with a okay amount of wood. And you know what? We don't have quite enough. Okay, so let's not do that then. Okay, sorry everybody. Let's do this. Let's go right here. We're gonna go to the forester. In this spot, we're gonna have to pay a food. Ouch, hurtsies. And we're gonna go ahead and we can either get one of the buildings or we can get a forest. We're gonna go ahead and get a forest here. Blam. And that is going to allow us to get wood every turn, which is going to be nice. And so now it's back to my turn again. Ooh, what fun. Ooh, so that would give us a horse and we could flip. Let's do this. Let's go over here to the colonist, or colonist. I assume it's someone who works on colons, and that's it. And we're going to get a horse. We're going to put that horse right here in our stall. And these stalls can hold 3. So that way we can actually breed a horse, which will be good. And then we can also flip one of our peat bogs. We dehydrate that dang peat bog. Finally, we're getting some dehydration in our peat bogs. And I'll say this, fam. I'll say this right now. There's not enough peat bogs in games. I'll be honest. There's not enough peat bogs in games. No one else other than Uwe has the freaking stones to put peat bogs in the game. We don't need more space games. Give us more peat bogs, okay? We need some more peat, okay? We don't need we don't need high fantasy dungeon crawls, games about peat bogs. That's it. Please give me that. It's all I want, and it's all I want. Okay, I'm off my my soapbox now. We don't need to go into it more. Okay, so what to do here? Wood per axe. See, I kind of did a silly. That's okay. I'm gonna go to this woodcutter here, which is gonna be per axe I have. I'll get 1 wood. I have 3 axes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get 3 wood, which will be good. All right, 3 wood, and the last thing here, I wanted to get a vehicle so I could ship some stuff, although now I kind of don't, because, no, you know what, let's go ahead and do it. I was gonna use the master workbench to increase some of my tools, which I probably should, but no, let's get a vehicle. So we're gonna go to the laborer here, and we can go ahead and spend 2 food. Ooh, are we gonna have enough food to pay? Oh, we are not going to have enough food to pay if we do that. No, we can't. We'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buy a vehicle. So you can kind of buy like a peat boat. You can buy a little cart. You can buy a bigger cart or a bigger cart. One of them is called a drosky. I don't remember which one is that one. So we're going to have to kind of go like that. So I do have 2. Now let's go ahead. We're going to spend 5 wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to have to use one of our horses to pull this cart. The horse is still with us. They're just, just here pulling a cart now. And so now these carts, again, as you saw in the teach, we can use them to ship stuff. We can turn clay into bricks, wood into timber, and we can also do what are called travel destinations. And we can essentially ship stuff from here and get food for it, which we're gonna need to do right now because we're out of workers, but we don't have quite enough food to pay for our people. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to be more. So we're immediately gonna have to spend a peat, which is fine. And we're immediately gonna get 2 food for that, for shipping to there. And then let's go ahead. Let's throw one of our woods in here, which is going to upgrade to a timber. And then I don't think I'm going to fill this last one. I guess I could do another wood. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do another wood. And we'll turn this into a timber just because we can always use timber as wood. And having timber is nice. So again, putting stuff in your cart is free actions. You don't have to spend anything to do that or spend in your actions. You can always put stuff in your cart. Okay, so now we are at the end of summer and we're going to do our inventory. So the inventory is this one right up here. So if we had cows or sheep, we would get food because we're milking the cows, milking the sheep. We don't have any, but we are going to get one grain from our grain field. We will get one flax from our flax field, and then we did get a forest here, and so we're going to get a wood out of that. Then we have to pay 3 food. Boom, we are down to 0 food, fam. And then we have to pay 2 peat because we're going into winter, and you burn peat for fuel, for warmth, because we're going into winter. So going out of winter, we don't have to pay peat because we're going into summer, and so we don't need to stay warm in summer. It's already hot. Okay. So now we're going to bring all of our people back, and that's pretty much it. We're going to kind of go back and forth. And again, the only thing that's different in the solo game versus the main game is once per season, one player can essentially put their person on the other season. You can't do that in a solo game, but that's literally the only difference. The solo rules in the rule book is this big. It's one sentence. It says you can't do that. Everything else is exactly the same. Try to get 115 points. We probably won't. I'm not very good at this game. Okay, so now we are in winter. So now we're working on this here side of the board. And what do we want to do? I probably should do a master action because that can increase my tools, which is a good thing to do generally. And I do, okay, so one, yeah, I don't know here. Per pottery, we'll get 3 food and a peat. Now we also need to get, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get pull our stuff off our cart here. So this is going to go here, boop. And we're going to try and get high up this track by using all this shipping here to try and get points at the end of the game. Because we're essentially trying to make a path to the coast, which is up here on our board here. And so we're trying to essentially make a path up to the coast there. Because your boy needs to tan, trying to get to the beach. It's beach season. Okay, so the problem is I don't really have much wood now. I do have timber, and timber's good, but yeah, and man, okay. Yeah, we're trying to figure our lives out. I might get a building. A building would probably be pretty nice. I also need to move my dikes up because I am almost out of space. Is there any dike movement in the winter? There actually might not. Oh, there is one. And then what's the other side of this? A park? Okay, so I don't think I need a park. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go here to the dike warden. So we can flip one of our buildings that's able to flip. I'm gonna flip this stall. Oh, you know what? I could flip this to make this bigger. Or do I want to flip a stall to have more animal space? Because a stall can go now to a depot and point to the good tractor times 2. Actually, that's right. So the stall actually, my apologies, the stall doesn't have the stable. The stable is a different building. Okay, then we're going to flip. We're going to flip this cart to its better side, which we don't have to pay for, which is nice. And then we're going to move one dike up like this. And now that allows us to have 4 spaces as opposed to just the one left that we had. Okay. I see you. I hate you. I see you. Okay, so man, yeah, this is I always get oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Let's do this. Let's go up here. Let's go to the linen weaver. Let's get some linen, which is going to give us some points, and it's some also we can ship. So we're going to go down. We can go down flax equal to our weaving looms, which we have 2. We're going to go down 2, and we're going to get 2 linens, essentially. And I'm going to pop one of those onto here, which is going to turn it into summer clothes, which is going to essentially just give us more, it's worth more points. And it's also something we could potentially sell. Yeah, it's something we can sell, which is nice, if we need to sell it to do any kind of trading. I'm going to need, Nick, your boy, you need to get food. You need to get food. So I could do, let's go here. Let's go to the baker. So per oven, do I want to just do that? Oh, I have, hold on, everybody. Your boy ain't got no peat. Your boy ain't got no peat. Well, that's too bad. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's go to the grocer. So we're gonna get 1 peat cutting. So I'm gonna cut, excuse me, sir. I'm gonna cut this peat right here. Okay, and I can get 1 animal. I'm gonna get a horse. That way these 2 horses here can breed. And I can get a 3rd one, which would be great. And then I'll get 1 wood and then 1 more clay. Okay, that's good, because I'll get to breed this. I have at least 1 peat. Now again, your boy needs food. So now I'm gonna go to the baker here and I'm going to go down 1 grain, get rid of this peat that I just got, and then I'm gonna get 6 food, which we're gonna need like right now. I feel like I'm not doing anything, and that's probably not good. I feel like I'm not doing much at all, but we're gonna do okay. I feel like we're okay. We're here, by the way. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Everyone calm. Please just calm down. Everyone, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to, I guess we'll just do both of these, because I could get more timber, but I just don't feel like it's that worth it right now. Okay, and real quick, is there anything else that I can ship out right now? I could do Aurich, but that would have to get rid of one of my horses, which I don't want to do right now. I could... Oh man, this feels like such a waste, but I'm gonna do Essence here. And I am going to spend a hide to get 2 food. I feel like I could have done more to get more food there, but let's just do that because I do want to do some kind of shipping with that. Okay, so now we did that. So now our animals will breed. We will get a 3rd horse. The stall can only hold 3 animals. So now we are full up here, although you can move our animals, and let's just go ahead and move our animal. You can move your animal to, again, the dikes, or any open field can hold some animals as well. Okay, so now if we had any sheep, they would give us wool. We don't have any sheep because we're bad at this game. And then now we have to pay 3 food. Now again, because we're going into summer, we don't have to pay any peat, which is nice. So we're just gonna go ahead and go into summer, in summer. Okay, so now let's figure out our life, because I don't know what to do here. Okay, so, man, oh man, oh man, man, oh butts. What to do? Oh, so we get these now. So this is going to ship here. And now we have some summer clothes, which we could potentially sell or keep. We'll have to kind of see, though. Okay. So now one thing I do want to do is I want to, let's go, ooh, okay, actually, hold on. Sorry, everybody. Let me think. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to the master, and that's going to allow us to move our tools up. First thing we do is spend 2 clay to move our master up, which means we can use that immediately. It's going to give us an extra ability to move something. I do want to do our axes, because we're probably going to get some wood right now. It's going to cost us 1 wood to do that. And then let's do our last thing. Let's do our spades. I'm going to pay another wood for that because I want to cut some peat right now, and that's going to help with that. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Nice. Okay, so for our second action, now let's go to the peat cutter. Again, put more peat bogs in your games. Please. Literally everyone is asking for it. Gosh. Okay, so now we have 5 spades, so we can cut 5 peat. We're going to go boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Blam. Okay. And now that this dehydrated peat bog is empty of peat, it now goes away, and now we have an extra space to build something, which is actually quite nice. Quite nice. Okay, so now I wanted to go to... Okay, real quick, Nicholas, is there anything you're missing? Is there anything... Because I was going to go do something, but I was like, slow down for a second. Pull your rope, homeboy. And let's see, is there anything I need to be doing before I do that? I was going to cut more wood because I kind of want to get... Okay, now, yeah, let's not do that. I was going to cut wood to go get a building, but I'm sure if I need to do that. Okay, let's do this. Let's go here to the dike builder. We're going to either get a cow or a sheep. Now, at the end of the game, you want to have an equal amount of all the animals if you can. Whatever animal you have the least of, that's the animal that's going to score you the most points. So basically, you want to have an equal amount of all of them if you can. So I have 3 horses, so I need to get other animals. I'm going to get this cow, and I'm just going to put them in this field here. You can move around your animals whenever you want, so they're not like stuck there. And then I can move 1 dike per shovel pair. Let's go ahead and just move this one up here, because I want to make sure I'm constantly doing that, because we want our dikes up to the top so we don't lose points. Okay, and then we have per weaving loom. We can get 2 full. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. I don't hate that. And then what does a plow do? Is a plow literally just for that? It is, but let's... Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so for this last one... I'm trying to think what to do. I was going to go up to the wool weaver to get some of this wool so that we can maybe turn it into like winter clothes and get some points later. I have 1 more worker, and I'm just a little bit stuck on what to do. Ooh, I was thinking about getting a plow. Real quick, I'm going to look up something. Do I need to pay for that plow at the farmer? No, I still have to pay for it. Boo. Figured, but you know, you never know. You never know. Uwe. Uwe's crazy with his game designs. Okay, so man, I am just a little bit stuck in terms of what do I want to do. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just do this. That's what we were gonna do, and let's just go ahead and do it. So we can spend wool up to our weaving looms, of which we have 2, and we can get this kind of big old fabric right here, which is pretty good, which you can turn into winter clothes, which is quite nice. Okay, so now we are out. So now I wanna load up my building. Yeah, this is tough. I don't really know if we can ship anything very well. Again, when you're shipping stuff, you kind of want to get as much food as possible. And I guess we could do this one, and we can ship 1 of these summer clothes and a peat. And that's going to give us 9 food, which is going to put us up at 14, which is great. So that's going to flip over. And then we have space for like 1 more thing. I feel like I should get a brick. I just feel like I should get a brick, considering I don't have any. So let's go ahead and turn this into a brick. We do have to pay 1 peat to do that because we have to fire it. You know, some ceramics type stuff. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so now we are in summer, so we're going to get food for our cows. We have 1 cow, so we're just going to get 1 food. We'll just go up to 15 here. That's great. And then we're going to get 1 grain for our grain field. We're going to get 1 flax. And then we're also going to get 1 wood because we have a forest here. Great. And then we have to pay 3 food. And then we're going to have to pay 2 peat because we're going into winter. Okay, so now we're gonna get these back. So now we have a brick, and then this is a bit higher up there. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the second round of winter, and it's a bit cold, and I don't know if I like it. Oh, forgot to bring back my people. Man. Okay, so Gersh, Mblursh. So now I would like to get another cow, if possible, because I'd like to have the cows in here so I could breed a third one. I guess we could just go to the cattle trader to do that, because we get 2 grain. Cattle trader is actually a really good spot. We get 2 grain. 1 sheep. We'll put the sheep on this dike here. I'm going to move these to, each empty field can hold 2 of the same animal. I'm going to put this cow back in here. Then I can get a cow or another horse. I'm going to get a cow. That way at the end of winter, they will breed, which will be grand. Okay, cool. And then what do I want to do here? Part of me feels like I probably should do another master spot and get my tools up. But I'm trying to figure out which tool I should do. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a master workbench. Let's figure it out. Do I want to do another workbench so then it's just like maxed out? We're going to be out of clay. Okay, is there anything else with clay that I'd want to increase right now? I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my 2 brick to increase my master workbench to the highest, which is 4. So now we can still do 3 things because that does activate immediately, I believe. And so now we do have 1 brick, which we need for our ovens. So let's go ahead and use that brick, and let's upgrade our ovens to level 2. And upgrading these also gives you points, which is nice. So we're going to have that. So now I will only have timber and wood left. So I want to make sure I get these peat bogs out of here because they're going to cost me negative. They're going to cost me points if I don't, because we need to put peat bogs in the games, but we also need to get those peat bogs out of the games. So increasing my spades would not be bad, and then that's maxed out, which is like pretty great. Having another weaving loom would not be bad. Having a fleshing beam would also not be bad, although I don't know if we need that many. So we can do 2 more things. Yeah, this is kind of tough. Okay, let's do this. Let's do 1 spade, and let's just knock that up to the top. So now we can cut peat like a absolute champion. Peat cutting champion over here. And then we could get another axe. You know, let's just do that. Let's spend a timber instead of a wood, because you can always pay more, essentially, because timber is better than woods. Let's get another axe, and that way we can just do it. Just like Nike. Okay, so now that's that. So our master's maxed out, which is great. Our spades are maxed out. Our axes are looking good. Okay, we have like no supplies anymore, which is probably not great. But we're here, and we're living this life. Okay, so I could get a building. I am trying to decide if I want to. Stall into a stable. Ooh, that would be useful. I can spend 1 burn. Ooh. Let's do that. Let's go this. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and we're going to go to the laborer so we can get a building, and we're going to spend 2 food to do that, because that's what that costs. And then we're going to go ahead and get this carpenter's workshop up here, so that all 4 of them up here cost 1 grain, and then 1 building material. It could be wood, could be timber. Do I want to not use my timber? You know what, real quick. Let's not do that in that order. Let's go ahead, let's get building materials first. That way I don't have to spend a timber to do that, because that seems unnecessary. So let's put this back up here. Let's do something else first to give us some building materials, and then we'll do that. And that way I'm not spending timber when I could be spending like wood or clay, let's be honest. Especially because I have an extra worker to do this. So I have enough food to feed my people, so we're fine there. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. But it's probably not that interesting. Let's go here. Let's go to the builder's merchant. We're going to get 2 hides. And then we can get a wood or a clay and then a timber or a brick. Let's go ahead and get a wood. And let's get a brick. Okay. Now we will go to the laborer. We're going to go blam on that food. We're going to spend a grain. And now we'll just spend a wood. Because wood it can get back pretty darn easily. So we're going to do that. Blam, 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 blam. And then now we're going to get this carpenter's workshop. So these buildings just have to go somewhere in your fields. And so this carpenter's workshop now is basically anytime throughout the game, I can spend 1 brick and 4 food to upgrade a stall to a stable, which is pretty cool. And so you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to spend 1 brick, which I got a brick, and then 4 food. And we're going to upgrade this stall into a stable. And stables can hold 6 of the same animal, which is pretty cool. Now, we only have 2 cows, so it's not going to be that useful right now, but later on, that can be very, very cool. So that seems nice. And also, stables are worth 4 more points, so that is very, very useful. Let me just double check something real quick. Okay, that's what I thought. This one had a yellow arrow, and I just wanted to double check what the yellow arrow meant. And it did mean what I thought it meant, which means you can do that basically as many times as you want, or as many times as you are able to. But I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can do that whenever. Because some of the buildings, most of the buildings activate right when you build them, and that's it. But this is one of the ones that you can kind of keep doing over and over and over again, which is what I thought it did, so that's great. Okay, so now we are out of twerkers. So before we go into the inventory, I want to put stuff on my cart because I always want to be upgrading stuff if I can. I do want to do one of these linens so that I can, like the heavy linen, so I can make it into winter gear. And then is there, I want to ship something because I don't want to not. It just seems like such a waste to not ship something. Let's go ahead and ship in Hague. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I will have to get rid of this field, but that's probably okay because I can get it back, to be completely honest. And my grain production's been okay, so I don't feel like I need it right now. And that will give me 1 food, which is fine, but I mostly am just doing this because I want to get up this track here. I also probably should get another building so I can do more of these. But okay. Okay, so now that we've done that, our cows are going to breed. We're going to get a 3rd cow, which is grand. Blam. Okay, so now I have 3 horses, 3 cows. That's good. We need to make sure we have the same amount of sheep if possible. And now our sheep are going to give us wool. We have 1 sheep, which is going to give us 1 wool, and that's it. And then we have to pay 3 food. Okay, so we need to make sure we're getting our food again. But okay, we're doing good. Blam, 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 blam. Okay. And moving over there. Okay, and then we're going to get this. You're going to go here. And then you are going to turn into winter gear, which is not worth that much more points, but we can definitely sell that for a lot of food up here. Okay, so now we're back on this side here. I do know I want to do this. I want to go to the colonoscopy spot. We'll get another horse, which is cool. And we get to flip another one of our peat bogs. We get to dehydrate that thing. Bam, dehydrate that thing. Blam. So now we dehydrate this one. So now what I want to do, we don't really need this much peat, but I'm going to go here, bam, peat cutter. So per spade, we can cut that much peat. So now we have 7, which is great because that's like the maxed out. And we have 6 peat, so boom, all this peat is for us. Thank you, bye. Peat for me, please. And then both of these, boom, come off. And now we have 4 more spaces in our fields here, which is great. And then also the negative points that are on these go away, which is awesome. So very happy about that. Okay, that's grand. How much is that? We could get a peat boat. A peat boat. Especially because we got a bunch of peat. That's interesting. Okay, so what else can we do here? We probably should... We need to be moving our dikes up to get more space, one, and then two. Well, although we don't really need this. I feel like we're not filling in our our area very much, but we want to, again, make sure to get our dikes up to here so that we don't get penalized. And we really should be increasing our fish traps. Because fish traps up here will give us food pretty easily. And we do want our goods up into this area if we can, because it's going to give us points at the end of the game. So, let's go. Man, I feel like I'm just doing the same things over and over again. I feel like I should do different stuff. I was going to go to the woodcutter and the master workbench again, but now I'm kind of just like, man, should I do that? But I guess I'm just getting all my tools up. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead. Woodcutter. So per axe, we're going to get 1 wood. We have 5. So we're going to get 5 wood. Excuse me, sir. All right, so 5 wood, which is great. And then we're going to go back to the master workbench. And we are going to upgrade a bunch of our tools. Okay, so one thing I know, so you can only upgrade each thing once. You can't, I can't spend it all on one area. So I'm going to spend 1 to increase my shovels and my shovel pairs, because that's going to help us move our dikes easier and get clay easier if we want to. I am going to spend 2 to increase our weaving looms. I'm going to spend 1 to increase our fish trips. And then, I have 1 more. I could max out my axes, although that doesn't give us any points, which is interesting. I could increase our fleshing beams, which I don't know how much I will use, but we kind of might as well, because it does give us points. Yeah, let's go for it. We're going to go boom, blam. Okay. And then that's it, fam. That's it for summer. We kind of went You get it. You understand. You understand how things work. Okay, so before we go into inventory, let's go ahead and ship. I think I'm going to do Norden here, because I can spend this winter gear here to get 7 food, which is awesome, because we're getting low on food. That's great. And then, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Arik, and I can spend, I can spend 2 animals to get another 9 food. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's spend, yeah, we're going to spend 2 of these horses. Bye, horses. Bye, friends. And that's going to give us another 9 food. And that's 2 more shipping. So we're going to go, let's just go up here to 9. You have 2 food things. You can only have a max of 15 of each good, but food you can have a max of 30. So that's actually quite good. We're definitely good on food in terms of feeding your people in this game is not very hard. But you mostly want to get this food because a lot of buildings cost food, a lot of things cost food, and then also it can give you points at the end of the game, which is quite nice. Okay, so now we're going to get more food because we're going to get 2 food for our 3 cows for milking those cows. Boom. And then we're going to get, we don't get to have a grain anymore. We are going to get a flax, and we are going to get another wood because of our forest. All right, then we have to pay 3 food. Let's just go 1, 2, 3. And then we'll have to pay 2 peat because we're going into winter. And now we're going into winter. So we're going to put these up here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're doing pretty good on the shipping this part. We still only have 1 vehicle, though. I probably should get another one. But we'll see. Okay, fam, we are a little over halfway through the game. So We have 4 rounds left. That's it. And I'm not gonna lie to him. I feel like I haven't done anything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like I haven't done anything at all, which is which is interesting. Yeah, I feel like I haven't done much, but that's probably okay. I think I know what I want to do this round though. I would love to get, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna go to the baker's oven. We now have 2 ovens, so we're gonna spend 2 grains and 2 peat, because we're cooking that into bread, of course, and that's going to give us 12 food, because each one of those gives us 6. So we're going to get, boom, so that's 2, and another 10. So actually, we're going to be maxed out here in terms of food. We're at maxed out 30, which is actually pretty darn good, because we're about to spend a bunch of it in a second. And so, oh, you know what though? Shoot. Oh gosh, can I even get to? Oh man, those stars. I messed up. I wanted to build this building, but we need 2 brick for that building, and I don't have brick. I can get 1. I don't think I can get a second one though. Ooh, no. All right, might have to wait on getting that building. That's okay though. We don't need that building like right now. But oh, stars. I didn't realize that I didn't have any brick. That's okay though. Okay. I would like to, okay, hold on. Sorry, buddy. Oh, lordy. Okay, so to build a stall or stable, I need brick. Oh man, yeah, this is, I'm in a not grand place right now with all this. Ooh, yeah, because I really want another stall or a stable, but I need brick for that. Oh man, I was not paying attention to my clay and my brick output like at all. And it is an issue at this point. Oof. Okay. Let's do this. Let's, we're maxed out there. Oof. Yeah, let's go here. I'm gonna go here to the fleshing, to the tanner. We have 5 fleshing beams, and I'm gonna spend 3 hides, and I'm gonna get 3 of these leathers, because I've been meaning to do that anyway, and so I want to do it before I forget. I would like to get another sheep, so I think I'm going to go to the grocer here. I have no peat to cut, but I can get, oh, I'm sorry, no, let's go to the cattle trader instead. That way I can get 2 grain, I can get a sheep, and then one other animal am I choosing? I think I'm going to get a horse. And I am going to move these cows here and then here. And then I'm going to move these sheep into here so that they can breed. Yeah, and I think I'm going to do that. And that way I'll have 3 of everything, and I can kind of work from there. Okay, I have one more, though. Is there any other building I would like to get right now that I can afford? I don't know. So this one's fish traps per 2, and I'll get 1 wood per fish trap. I'll get 1 animal per pottery wheel. How many pottery wheels do I have? 2. Ooh, I can get 2. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's do that one. Okay, so we're going to go down here to do building. We're going to spend 2 food, and we're going to do this potter's in here. So we have to spend 2 different building resources. I do have a wood, and I do have a timber, so that's good. They have to spend 9 food. We're going to go down to 4 with this, and then we'll get this pottery wheel. So this one happens immediately. We're going to put it blam. And this pottery wheel will give us 1 animal of our choosing per pottery wheel. We have 2, and I want to get 2 sheep. And the reason is because if you have exactly 4 animals inside a stable, which can hold 6, you will get 2 babies. And so that'll be great, because that'll give us 6 sheep instead of having 3. So that's awesome. And we're going to get some more wool right now. Oh yeah, we're actually going to get a lot more wool right now. Okay, great. Okay, so now let's ship some stuff. What to ship? Let's go ahead and do one of these. And then is there anything else we can ship? There just isn't, huh? There's not one of these we can do. We can't fit anything else. Okay, so we're just going to do a leather then. Just going to get some sweet, sweet leather daddy type leather. It's the only kind of leather for the Brothers Murph is leather daddy type leather. Okay, and so now our animals are going to breed. So now because we have 4 sheep in here, we're going to get 2 more, which is great. Okay, boom. So now we have a full contingent of 6 in here, which is awesome. Hey, sheepies. Hi, friends. Okay, so cool thing is now we get wool from our sheep, and because we have a full contingent of 6, we're going to get 3 wool. 1, 2, 3. Grand. You'll love to see it. Then we have to pay 3 food. That's fine. We're crushing the food game. Again, it's one thing that's nice is food is not tough in this game. It's very easy to feed your people. I do enjoy the feeding your people mechanic in games. Kind of that Uwe special. I enjoy that because I do enjoy, like, you always have to pay attention to this. You can do all this stuff, but you have to pay attention to this. Like, I like that. But I don't want it to be, like, ungodly hard, basically, I guess is what I'm getting at. Okay, cool. So now this is going to come back to us here as Leather Daddy Leather. It's a new business venture that Mike and I are starting. And then we're back over into summer. Okay, so we're only going to get one more time over in winter, which is good to know. Okay. Okay, so my question is, I wish I had done something earlier to get myself another clay or another brick, because I still would like to get this here building. I would like to get that there building, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, because man, oh man. Okay. So we have also like no supplies like at all. Okay, so one thing I know we're going to need to do is we need to flip this last peat bog, dehydrate that bad boy, blam, because we need to get out of here, because that's -4 points if we just leave it there. So we need to get that out of there. And then, yeah, let's then go to, man. Yeah, let's just go here. Let's get this out of here just because I want to make sure we do that and don't forget about it. And all of a sudden, it's like the very last turn of the very last round, and we're like, oh no, we forgot to get one of our peat bogs out of here. So let's just get that out of the way and do that. And then, lordy, lordy. We need to get clay because I need to get bricks so I can build stuff with the bricks. So let's go ahead and let's go to our clay worker, which will get we'll get clay rather equal to our shovels, and we have 4 shovels. So that's going to be good because we need that. Okay, and then we can at least make one of those into a brick. And then maybe then we can get this building. All right, our last one, let's go ahead and do this dike builder. We can move 1 dike per shovel pair. We have 2 shovel pairs. So we're going to go blam, and then we'll go blam, and that opens up this spot again. Not that we're filling in our board here at all. We're not. But, yeah, I feel like this should be more full, but I feel like we're focusing on other stuff, and I don't know if that's good. But we are doing that. We got a couple more rounds here, so we'll see. But, yeah, we'll have to kind of see how this one goes. Again, I'm not particularly great at this game. So if you're looking at like high octane play of Fields of Arle, don't come here. Go watch like Steph Hodge play. Steph Hodge loves this game, and she's way better at games than us in general. Go watch Steph Hodge play Fields of Arle. That'll be a much more like high level play. I'm very like medium level play of Fields of Arle, but that's okay. Okay, so that's gonna be it then. Okay, so now I do want to make sure I ship. I need to put at least 1. Okay, here we'll do this. We'll ship out some Leather Daddy leather. And then we're going to turn one of these into a brick. And that way we can get a brick in the next round, and then we can actually get this building, which I just, for whatever reason, because it's worth 10 points. That's one of the main reasons why I want it. So I'm just like, I want it. I want it. Okay. So we did that. Okay, so now we are going to get food from our sheep and our cows. We have 3 cows, so that's going to be 2 food, and we have 5 sheep. We're going to get 4 food. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not putting this here. We're putting this here, and we're going to get 6 food. We can also ship out a cow. And we can do that, and we can do that. So if we ship out a cow too, that'll be 11. No, let's not do a cow. But we will ship out these linens, because we can ship 2 things. We'll get 9 food for that. Which is going to put us up to 14. We're going to spend some food right now, but let's do that. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay, so now we're going to get food from all of our cows and such. Boom, all that's going to be maxed out, which is great. We're going to get a flax. We're going to get a wood. And then we have to pay 2 peat, pay 3 food. Boom. Wonderful. Okay. And then we're going to get our brick back, and then we have shipped to here. We've done a lot with just this one cart. Done pretty darn good with just that single cart. Okay. So now we're going to get this back. Boom, 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 boom. All right, last time in winter. We have 2 rounds left, my fam. And I am terrified. I feel like we're going to have such a bad game. Oh, man. I want to get a brick because I want to get this because it's going to be worth 10 points, which is very nice. We also need to make sure that we're breeding a bunch if we can. This will be our last time for breeding, so like we actually are kind of in a bad spot for breeding. Okay, so if we do, man, because what I want, I have 6 sheep, so at this point I'd like to get shipped 6 cows and 6 horses. That way they're all equal. And I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off while doing other stuff. Also, because like I need to put them plate. Although I have nothing but space on my thing, so I guess maybe it probably doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the only place I can get brick is the Builder's Merchant, and I just don't really need the other stuff. But let's do it anyway, because I'm fixated on it at this point, and I'm going to do it. I got fixated, fam, and we're here now. This is our life. So we got 2 wood. I wish you 2 wood. Interesting. Okay, so now let's go here. Boom. We're going to go down 2, and we're going to build a building. So we need to build 2 brick and 25 food, which is going to put us, boom, down at 0. Though this waterfront house gives you 10 food, so we're not really at 0. We're going to get 2 dikes, and then our fish traps is going to go up by 3, which is great because it's going to max it out, which is going to give us 3 points. So we're going to put this here. So we got our 10 food. We're going to get 2 more dikes. Boom and boom. Hello, cow. Boom and blam. That's great because we're almost done with that, which is awesome. And then we get fish traps plus 3. Blam, blam, blam. So now that's maxed out. And now this one's also worth 10 points. So that's why I was like, I want to do that because it got our dikes up more. This is worth 10 points, plus it pushes up to there. So it's 13 points we just got right there. So I'm just like, oh, that feels really, really, really necessary. Okay. Oof, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So now we have 10 food still, so that's good. We have 2 more workers. I would like to get, another cow. What was I going to do here? Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here to this carpenter. I'm gonna spend 1 grain and 2 of these clays to get another stall. And I'm gonna put these here horsies in this stall. And I'm gonna put these 3 cows in this stable. Boom. Okay, because that way they can both breed, which is good. And this last spot here, I am going to go up to the the cattle trader or the grocer. I don't really need the grocer that much, so let's go to the cattle trader. So we're gonna get 2 grain, boom. Then we can get 1 animal of our choosing. We're gonna get a cow to put us at 4 inside this stable. And then we'll get 1 more sheep, which we don't really need, but a sheep is a sheep. That's good. And so, okay, so there's that. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get rid of these 2 sheep. Bye, friends. And we'll go here. We're gonna get 9 food, and that way we can ship. We can ship this one, and we're gonna get most of our points for the coastal track. Okay, so now we're gonna breed. So we're gonna breed 1 horse here. Blam. Hello, horsey. And then we're gonna get 2 cows, which is great. Boom. Boom. Hello, friends. And then this is gonna come boom up here. So we're gonna get, I don't think we're gonna be able to do this one, but that's okay. It's only 1 point, which is like not the end of the world. So, all right, then we're gonna get 2 more wool, because now we have only 5 sheep instead of 6. And then we're gonna have to pay 3 food. Boom. Okay. So now we're in this interesting place. I'm just gonna distribute these cows around so I can kind of see where I am, because we're not gonna be able to breed again, because breeding only happens in winter. So I kind of gotta see what my board situation is like. Keep forgetting to bring back my people. Okay. All right, we're in the last round here, fam, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on here. Trying to think if there's another building I could get that would be worth like a decent amount of points. I know I should probably flip my stall, although I don't know if it's going to be worth that much. I need to try and get 2 horses if I can, although on this side of the board, I don't know if I can get 2 horses. I think I might only be able to get 1, which is not the end of the world, but it would be nice if I could get 2. And I kind of would like food. We have 1 clay and 2 wood. That is not like awesome. That's not awesome. I'm just looking around the buildings to see if there's gonna be one that I think I could do, or that I think would be worth it for me to do. And 8 or 8, I don't have enough for that. Although that, oof. Sorry, this is a lot of me just kind of sitting here being like, what to do? Man, I'm just not sure, fam. So basically at this point, I'm trying to min-max, like what would give me the most points? I know one thing I should probably do is go to the dike builder. I should get another sheep back, and that way I have 6 sheep and 6 cows, and then I can also move this dike up here, and I know I'm not going to lose any points for that, which is good. That's good. So we know that. We have that figured out at least. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Oh, I guess I could do that. I could do that. Let's do this. We're going to go to the carpenter, and we're going to get this junk dealer's inn. It's going to cost us 9 food. So we're going to go 1, and And then 8 more. This is going to put us down at 7. This junk dealer is going to put it right there. Blam. Oh, I have to get rid of 2 different building materials. We'll just get rid of those 2 because we're not really doing anything with them. And we can either get a peat boat, we can get a little cart, and we'll also get some leather daddy leather, which I think I forgot to turn this one back in. I think I did, so I'm just going to put that one back. Leather daddy leather, and then some wool linen. And I can get a peat boat, or I can get a little cart. I think I'm going to get a peat boat. I don't think getting a cart is really going to help me. Yeah, I don't think that's really going to help me. So let's get a little peat, because a cart essentially would allow me to ship more things, but I don't think I'm going to be able to ship much. So peat boat is nice because you can essentially turn in peat for any other good, which is, ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I realized I'm like, oh, I could have done this thing. I'm like, no, I couldn't have. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I thought I was maybe going to be able to get another building, and I realized that, no, you can't. I definitely cannot. Maybe I can. Hold on. Oh, yeah, we might be able to get another building, which would be some more points. Because basically what I could do is I could turn in these 3 peat to push my flax up to 8. And then I could go to like the grocer, get a timber, and then I could go get the mill, which would be an extra 6 points, which is nice. It's definitely nice. Yeah, you know what? I think I can do that. So let's do that. So I'm going to turn in 3 peat. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 up to here. And then we're going to go up to the grocer here. We're going to get a timber, a brick, or an animal. I'm going to get a timber. We'll also get a grain, and we'll get a some just straight leather, which is actually kind of nice. And then we can also go to this spot we haven't used yet, because you mostly use it in a higher player count game, or I guess a 2-player game, because there's only 1 to 2 players. This is imitate. So you can imitate a spot that you or someone else has been to. So actually, I don't even need to do that, because I don't need to spend the food. I can just go here to the building spot. Never mind. I don't need to use that imitate spot. That's great. So I'm going to go to the mill. We're going to spend 8 flax, boom, and 1 timbre, and we're going to get this dang mill. Get wrecked. So this is basically, the mill itself is not going to do anything for me, but basically for flax and grain fields, which again are the opposite side of flax, if you had 3, you would get 8 food. If you had 5, you get 10. If you had 6, you'd get 12. I have 1, so it's not going to be a big deal. But this is worth 6, which seems useful. So we're going to go with that. Okie dokie. So trying to think if there's anything else that's going to be particularly, oh, you know what we didn't do? We don't have any peat, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get to see what happens when we don't have peat, which is not a big deal, honestly. Okay, so now we're going to be going into the very last inventory here, which is going to be getting food from our cows and our sheep. We have 6 of each, which is actually going to be 5 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to get a flax for this. We're going to get another wood for that. Okay, and then we have to spend 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And then we have to spend 2 peat. So we have to spend 1 peat. If you don't have a peat to spend, you have to spend wood or timber. And then if you still can't pay for everything, you lose 2 points for everything you can't pay, which is not ideal. But I've never actually had to do that. Okay, so actually we need to ship something. I guess we could just ship this, because that's going to give us some leather daddy leather. And I wish we could do this, but we just can't. And that's okay. And I don't think I can make this into a timber, but it's only worth a half a point, but I guess I might as well, right? I'm guessing you round those points down, so I don't think it'll matter. But nonetheless, okay. So we'll get these. Okay, fam, and that is going to be the end of the game. The end of the game. And, oh, I thought I had it here. Yeah, on the end of, your sheet here, also has your scoring, which is great. So, I also have the last 2 times Mike and I played this on here, so we will see how well I did. I'm going to go ahead and say probably not, like, great, but we'll see. Okay, so the first thing we're going to count up is our like, materials, basically. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for this one. We have 2 Leather Daddy Leathers, which is going to be 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then in a half. Let me double check. Does it round down or up? I think we counted it before that you just kept it. So we'll keep it then. We'll just do how Mike and I have done it in the past, whether or not that's right. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. So we'll say 9 and a half for like our goods. Equipment in the barn. We only have 3 points here, and you love to see it. Travel experience. I did get up to 9. Didn't quite get to 10. If I could have gotten this one, we could have gotten to 10, but it's probably not a huge deal. Unless it is. And then there we'll just cry. So now we get points for our tools. So for being in the point spots on tools, we kind of did a lot of tools in the beginning and kind of stopped. That's probably all right. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay. The goods track. So if we got to the goods track, we're only going to get 2. We did not get like a lot of goods. Did not get a lot. Victory points on our home board. So that's going to be basically points on tiles. Also minusing any, subtracting any, that's the word, Nick, if you have any negatives on here. We don't have any negatives, which is good. So we're going to get 6, 10, 12, 14, 24, 30, 31, 36. Okay. And then animals. So how animals work is you're going to score 2 victory points for the type of animal you have the least of, then 1 victory point for the type of animal you have the second least of, and then you get no points for whatever animal you have the most of. So that's why getting a equal amount of all the animals is very important. So the one we have the least of is horses, and so we're going to get 8 points for horses because we have 4. And then we have 6 and 6, so we're just going to get 6 points for these ones. I wish we'd gotten 2 more horses. That would have been decently lucrative. I guess it would have been too many more points. But we're going to get 8 points, 6. We're going to get 14. Okay, let's see how we did. Let's see. Let's do some math here, Nikki. Okay, I did pretty standard Mike and Nick play of this. So I got a score of 85.5. They say a score of 110 is a remarkable score. I did not come that close to that, or even to 100. But our last scores, 2 games ago, Mike got 86.5, and I got 79.5. Last game, Mike got 92.5, I got 81.5. So I'm very much, in this game I got 85.5. So I'm very much in that wheelhouse that Mike and I always score in this game. I feel like this is one of those games where, like any game, the more you play it, the better you get at it. But this one particularly, I feel like I never play like I never fill up my board like that much, I feel like. And I always feel like, man, I feel like I should be filling more of this up. But maybe you just don't. Like, we're not super experienced Fields of Arle players. So if you are, let me know, like, what's your average score? Like, is that okay? I generally with Uwe Rosenberg games, particularly in solo games, they always say, like, shoot for 100. This one they say shoot for 110. But, like, Fees for Odin, they're like, shoot for 100. I believe Caverna, like, hey, shoot for 100. So I kind of always shoot for 100. And I feel like in this game, I never do as well as I kind of want to. But I really like it. But yeah, that's it, fam. We got them peat bogs out of here, but put more in your games, you butts. All right, I'll take that. I mean, that might be my highest score in this game. So we'll take that. We'll take Nick PB, personal best for Nick. Yeah, okay. So that was Nailed it first try. Fields of Arle. It's fine. Everything's fine. I really like this game. This game's great. I still feel like, as I talked about, I'm not very good at this game. This is not really like, there's no real point in me doing like a review of this or review of like the solo game, because the solo game is literally exactly the same. It's a little bit easier, I will say, because you're not getting blocked out of anything. It's not like, oh man, I needed to go to the carpenter. You're kind of like, I can just go wherever I want. It's just the same old game, but this is a really good game. This is a big Uwe Rosenberg game that I feel like doesn't get talked about that much. A lot of people talk about Caverna, they talk about Feast for Odin, they talk about Le Havre, they talk about Agricola, they talk about a lot of them. And this one, a lot of people like a lot, but I don't feel like it's talked about a lot. But Fields of Arle is really, really good, especially if you're a couple or you play with like a brother or a sister or something like that, and you just only have 2 people. Pick this up. It's really, really good. I really like Fields of Arle. It's really, really outstanding. It doesn't feel a lot like any other kind of games. It feels pretty darn unique, and it's just really good. The solo version's also great, just like all Uwe's solo versions of, because pretty much all his solo versions are just the same exact game, which is honestly great. It's outstanding. But nonetheless, Fields of Arle is really, really good. Love it to death. So that is going to be Solo Game House. Down in the comments below, let me know what game you would like to see me or Mike solo, as we're going to be doing both of us. Let us know down in the comments below what kind of games you'd like to see us solo. Would you like to see any other Uwe games or anything like that? Let us know nonetheless. And I think that's going to be it. My name is Nick. Mike's not here. We're the Brothers Murph, and we'll see you later, everybody. Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching that sexy video about Fields of Arle, the autobiographical kind of farming game by Uwe Rosenberg, known for making the sexiest games on the market. Appreciate you. We also appreciate our channel sponsors, who are Restoration Games, Lucky Duck Games, and Board Game Geek. They're really, really wonderful. They sponsor the whole year of the Brothers Murph. Links down in the description below. We also want to give a big shout out to Nike Nick for sponsoring the Brothers Murph for the month of June. We really, really appreciate you. Nike Nick's been around forever. Absolutely love them so much. And I heard that Nike Nick actually only has 1 leg, but the other leg is this cool bionic leg that not only makes them stronger and faster, but also can cook a hell of an omelet. So that's pretty darn cool. Thank you so much, Nike Nick. You did pay us to say that, and we appreciate that so much. We will say whatever you want as long as you give us money. We're very easy to buy. But nonetheless, thank you so much. Watch the other game houses over there on the right side of your screen. You know how this works. You know how YouTube works. You've been around.